Why should I be afraid to access a service that I pay for, that I pay significantly for, because of the color of my skin, and we continue to pretend that we understand that Black lives matter and don't understand the consequence? If my mother was white, she would be alive. If my sister was white, she would be alive. My mother went to hospital almost every week for a year because she was sick, and I knew she was sick. When the scans came and the scan technician states this is an urgent case that must be seen, when she goes to see a GP once again, she's told, so what do you want now? Stage 4 ovarian cancer, diagnosed with vertigo. Not moved on for someone else with vertigo. Was she treated well while she was in hospital? No. I watched my mother suffer and beg for pain medication. In the same way, me, 16 surgeries later, I have suffered when I will beg. If I go to hospital, I must know I have to humble myself to beg. Forget pride. Forget ego. Forget success. Forget how hard I have worked. Forget the position I've actually got to in this country. I will beg and humble myself. When to go to a hospital is trauma, that I will risk my life, then rather go into a place where I know I am unsafe. How many times have I almost died in hospital from being ignored? My mother dying unnecessarily from being ignored. My 39-year-old sister dying in hospital in this country from being ignored unnecessarily. How many times have I almost lost my life fighting the same battle? When you're sick, you're vulnerable. But as a Black woman, I cannot afford to be vulnerable in a UK hospital, because to be vulnerable is to be left at risk. This is not to take away from the nurses that do good, because what I hear all the time is, but there are some that do good. Yes, there are. But there are far too many that do not. So it means that my experience, I am not safe, means I'm not safe in this country. I do not feel safe. I do not feel like I have access to the medical system in which I pay for. Because I know that if my skin was a different color, I would be taken more seriously. I had been in hospitals. I was in hospital with a 15-centimeter ovarian torted cyst. Look it up. It's painful. The equivalent of a man having water pumped into his testicles until it becomes 10 times its size, and twisted and twisted and twisted until it begins to rip itself off. I lay in hospital, and they were still trying to discharge me until they finally decided to operate. But the man, because he had arranged a golf game, he got in and realized, oh, this is too big for me. So he did, I'll do a quick job so I can hit my round. So now inside my body, I have been used. It's no different. Black women have been tested on in order to develop gynecological advancements, but yet I didn't have access. Cardiological, more Black women die. Why? Because I'm not heard. My intellect is irrelevant. My status is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how low I put my ego down. Black women are dying. Black women are suffering, being treated like third-class citizens. I have screamed animals would have been put down. I have been begged to be put down. To go into a place that's supposed to keep you safe, but yet you cannot relax. To have a system that's supposed to help keep me alive, but the very thought of putting myself into that environment, we would not send the soldiers with PTSD back into a war zone. But yet here I am, PTSD from hospitalization in the United Kingdom, a first world country with all the medical advancements in the world. It's irrelevant because my skin color determines that I get a certain level of treatment. I am spoken to in a certain way. Don't scream too much. Don't cry too much. You be in pain, but be careful how I express that pain. Because if they interpret that as aggression, these are the games I've played. 16 surgeries later, I have spent so much of my life in these places that now, even at this point of my life, when my heart, God, from the strain, but yet still I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe. Left in my own urine, left in my own blood. My God. I had third-degree burns and I was told to go back to where I came from if I wanted to be treated. In the UK, the first world country that we complain so much that everyone's stealing our services, I pay. How about give me my money back and let me go somewhere else and pay? But I don't have that choice either. So I'm forced to continue to pay for a system that I don't actually have access to. But yeah, because of my skin color, I'm told I don't belong. Where do I belong? And tell me where I belong. I was born in this country. Where do I belong? Where's my home? If I've lived here, I've gone to school here. Where's my home? Because when I looked upon, people don't classify, well, where exactly? There's a price to pay. There's a price to pay when we begin to move into a direction in a world where we don't understand that the experiences of everybody is not the same. That the color of your skin will determine the experience you have, from medical right through to the police. That a black man cannot feel safe to call the police. To call the police for help. How safe would you feel? That I do not feel safe to go to the hospital for help because of the color of my skin. How much do I need to earn? How high do I need to go? How successful do I need to be? I have watched everyone I love die in a hospital, not with dignity. Not with dignity, but a reminder that in this country, I'm not safe. So where am I safe? Where's my home? Who do I go to for help? Who helps me? Who helps me? Don't get angry. You make sure you do not get angry. Whatever you do, do not get angry. Because if you get angry, then you definitely won't get treated. And don't worry, pain and anger can also be mistaken for the same. So be careful how you show your pain. So here I sit, in my life in my own hands, because I'm safer that way. And that's a fact. So for anyone that's even thinking, oh, mole in your eyes, I pray that no one you love that looks like me is ever left in the hands of the medical profession without you understanding the potential risk that they're taking. It's a gamble. I hope that I meet someone that will treat me with respect. That's the gamble. I started doing these videos because I wanted to be honest, but I haven't been honest because this is the truth of my experience. This is the suffering that I've been enduring silently, but I don't want to be silent anymore. Too many black women are dying and suffering in this country. Too many. I personally have lost my mother and my sister to this very thing. And if I have to die, if I end up dying, whether it's because I'm at home or in hospital, it won't make a difference. But at least I know that the next time I'm reminded that my heart can go at any minute, that life isn't guaranteed to anybody. I will not feel so guilty I have not spoken with truth. I have suffered. I have suffered more than anyone should suffer. But I've suffered because I have been ill and suffering in chronic pain as a black woman in the United Kingdom in 2025. In a world of AI, I can't be guaranteed pain relief because of the colour of my skin. That's the reality. That's the reality.